Hey there, I am a mother of 5 children. I had 5 kids in 5 years. We live in the country. Actually, I have 4 boys, and they're kind of feral, although I would say they're sweet. But let me tell you, we have tons of stuff. So when we bought our house, we bought it way before the big thing that happened in 2020. We got a massive house for a ridiculous deal, and it just turned out that all 5 of my kids could have their own bedroom. It sounds crazy. I mean, I'm sure they could share and be okay, but at the time they were much younger, and I loved the idea of them having independent play in their own rooms. They could have naps in their own rooms. They could go to their own room and have their own space to quiet down. So all 5 of my kids have their own room. It has meant that they aren't all that great decorated because that's a lot of stuff to buy, and it is what it is. The budget has its constraints. But we do our best, and it does mean, though, because there's a lot of space, then we can easily collect a lot of junk, and there's room for it. There's just room for it. So having a smaller house means you have less stuff, so that's its own blessing. Oh, here I am getting my audiobook ready. I love to audiobook. Oh, I like to audiobook as though that's a verb. I like to listen when I'm decluttering. So occasionally, maybe once a quarter, twice a year, I'll go into each of their rooms and do a declutter. Now this is separate to the declutter that I might do with them. This is what I like to do when they're not around, because kids be hoarders, my kids be pack rats. They're like, no, don't get rid of that piece of trash that I shoved under my bed instead of putting it in the trash. So there are some things I just simply declutter when they're not around, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. So I like to take their clothes, whether I'm going to pass their clothes down, since I have a daughter and 4 boys. My youngest has a bajillion and a half clothes and underwear, and my oldest, they be on a 10-item wardrobe. People, that's what happens. So I like to go through this is the toy system we came up with. It was cubes and cubbies. Makes it super easy for cleanup. It never takes them longer than like 5 minutes to clean up their room, because they just, maybe aside from some Legos, but actually some of them just use 1 cube for a Lego, and it never takes them more than a few minutes to just tidy up their room, no matter really how dirty it is. And that is a huge blessing. It's how I have kids who clean up, and it's how we have tidy rooms. At any given time, the kids' rooms aren't that horrible because they can just shove all their toys in their cubbies, and because I do this declutter occasionally where we go through, we get rid of things like, I don't know, Walmart toys, or toys that have been separated into a bajillion pieces and they don't all go together, or like the rubber duckies that are from, those are from my book photo shoot thing. So I'll go through and I'll keep things. I keep their Lego maps, they call them, like I just put in there. Of course, I'm not getting rid of their Lego. I don't focus on trying to get rid of everything, but I just focus on, if they don't use it or it's making a huge mess, or I know they legit don't care, I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's just what I'm gonna do. So sometimes I'll have them be with me again, but that's a separate thing. So I like to, the method I've been using lately that really works is just trying to dump everything out, or really look, when I'm opening my son's cubbies right here, they don't have that much in them. So it's not like I need to dump it out. It's like 4 things. But I like to, if there's a lot in there, I like to just remove stuff and put my hands on it. Because if I do that, it's like I find trash, I find pencils, I find, gum wrappers, or a toothpick, or a chopstick. I don't even know, y'all. I'll be finding all kinds of things in their rooms. So I like to hit, especially, this is in my youngest son's room, so he has like 79 church shirts, and when he picks out his own clothes, he wears like 3 of them. So him and I sometimes come to blows. Not really, because there's no blows, but he wants to wear the same 3 church shirts, and I'm like, but baby, you have like 7 years worth of church shirts. Anyway, so I'm just going through in here and getting rid of things that are actually his size, because he has so many things. So I like to, keep what I can, keep what I'm going to use, but get rid of whatever I can. So 2 of my kids live upstairs. They have their own room upstairs. So go past the school area and the little gym. So they don't actually have tons of stuff, and I'm going to go through their toys later on in the month, but I just want to make sure that we don't have any clothes that I think are ugly. People buy clothes for my kids, and I'm like, what? I don't want them. No, I buy good clothes. This is like a $3 shirt from the dollar store, and my kids will only forever choose the $3 store $3 shirt from the dollar store if they can. So sometimes I go through and I get rid of those, things that have holes, things that I know don't fit, they're too tight or they're too short. My boys are very tall. My husband's 6'3", so my boys are always like literally a head and shoulders taller than everybody in their class. So their shorts and their pants get too short. So I go through that, whether it's, you know, pajamas that are missing a piece or anything I can. The older boys actually didn't have much for me to declutter and get rid of, but I still like to go through it and see. And then that gives me a handle also on, do I need to buy anything, that sales are coming or summer is coming? Are we missing? Is there a gap in their wardrobe? Now this particular son, he's more particular about what he wears. So, you know, I'm gonna go through, I have a little makeshift hanger in the back because we haven't had the closet designed because, you know, I gotta feed 5 kids. I ain't just doing this big elaborate closet. Although I might, I shouldn't say I won't. Let's just say I haven't yet. So it's just, this is how easy it is. I don't overthink it. I don't even make it a big deal. I know that the inspiration's gonna hit me, and when it does, I just take massive advantage. So that is me having done a quick and dirty declutter of 5 kids' bedrooms. I did not do all of the kids' toys because coming up in my live school at home, we're gonna do something exciting with our kids and them learning some decluttering and organizing. So I didn't do all of their rooms, but just the easy things I could throw away, the easy clothes that could be done. It really didn't take me longer than, I mean, I did like a time lapse, but it really didn't take me longer than probably an hour in total to do this. So if you have less kids than 5, unless you have tons and tons of stuff, this is actually a super satisfying and quick way to really feel like you lost some weight. Like, you know, not quite as good as it feels to lose actual weight, but you know, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Be sure to check out my next video on minimalist mom mindsets that actually prevent you from gathering a lot of clutter to begin with.